Good afternoon, YouTube. I apologize for not putting this project on sooner than I have, but I'll explain as I go. So many of you have seen this truck. This is my 1990 F250 Lariat 4x4. I picked it up for $2,000 maybe about 3 years ago. Drove out to California to pick it up. It's been a California truck its whole life. Didn't tow anything, was an old guy's hunting rig. I picked it up with 25,000 miles on it. So it turned over once. So when I had it, it had 25,000 miles on it. And all the records that I've been able to pull up, it says it's only turned over once. So let's take a look real quick, see what we're doing. So when I picked it up, it was this blue color. And whoever had it before me, original from the factory, was kind of a red. Which is kind of funny because in my mind, when I was looking for a truck, I wanted a truck that I could call Big Red. So I called this Big Red. But whoever put this blue on just did a horrible job. Just slathered it on. I don't know if it's the Mako $300 job. So what I am doing to this, let's go over here and take a look. So I've done a handful of research online, and I've wanted to bedline the bed for the longest time. And I was thinking to myself, why don't I just bedline the whole thing? Called around a couple places, want a handful of dollars, like 2,000 of them at the least. So the cheapest stuff I found was this SpeedoKote T-Rex, which is kind of funny because if you notice, this T-Rex is eating what? A Velociraptor. And one of the most popular bedliners out right now is Raptoline. More or less, these are the same things. This has a better UV, has a better, I guess, adhesion, handful of other things. You can go ahead and look at their, or even give them a call. They answer their phone, they'll talk to you. And they don't badmouth the other companies, they just tell you how theirs is better. So it's kind of a two-part. You put three-part with this one. You put the hardener into here, and then you also put in any base color that you want. And so what I did was I went online, and I've seen a lot of the TRD Toyotas going around, and I really like, kind of hard to see, really like that color. What that color is you can look it up. 4VC, they call it Quicksand. It's by Toyota. You go down to your local auto body shop, and they'll mix up a batch for you. It's this one I paid $50 a quart. You add 3 ounces per this, and then you add another, forget the exact amount, shake it up, and where's my gun at? Comes with a gun, and you just you spray it on. So I know it sounds fairly simple, but I've really obsessed over exactly how I should be prepping it. All this here is where it went down to the metal, and so I put on some self-etching primer. Two different brands. This is just a Rust-Oleum brand. Self-etching primer, so the coat will just stick to it really well. And then before that, I really roughed it all up. You can't really I guess you can tell, but sanded it down really good to make it all rough so that everything will just grab onto it. So there is the kind of the before, and I'll be doing a during. But right now, my next project tonight is to tape it all up. It does say that you have to spray it in between 60 and 85 degrees. Right now it's good past 100 degrees here in Arizona. Right now it's cooling off because it's the evening, sun's going down, but I want to have it all taped up so I can get here bright and early and just go ahead and shoot the whole thing. So stay tuned. This is the first segment. Well, here we are with phase, I guess 2 or 3. I didn't do any video of the taping or the spraying. I actually didn't have my tripod. So I'll go over with you what I did. So take a look. So here is the F250 from Big Red to Big Blue, and now it is a Quicksand color. Before I get into that, just to go over kind of the gun that I used. Here is the gun. I got this little regulator at Harbor Freight. Let's see if it'll focus in. didn't work too well. Some of them come with that, so I just regulated the pressure by the compressor. So attach it to that. Before you do that, what I did was just kind of have my table set up. I did this by myself, so I really didn't have, of course I didn't have help. It would be nice to have someone kind of handing you the bottles as you went. But what I did was I first mixed up a bottle. So you take a fresh bottle, 3 ounces of your tint, and then 8 ounces of your hardener. And you shake it up good. It says 2 minutes, so give it a good shake for 2 minutes. And my first shot, let's see if I can get up there, don't want to bounce around too much, was, there we go, was the top. So I figured the roof was kind of a good practice. Couldn't really get the PSI down. I don't know if it was too low or too high. I ended up right about 70 to 80 PSI, I think. That's kind of what worked best for me. I tried right around 60, but it kept on dropping below and not getting a very good spray. So you kind of could tell on the first little parts that I started, it did kind of go on thick and it did droop a little bit. So once I got my first bottle through, which took about that whole entire roof, so they say 15 square feet, and that's probably almost close to 20 square feet on the top there. So I used more. I used that whole bottle for the first. And I was told by the rep, I think his name is Brad. I'll have to double check. Don't mind my neighbors, my mom's neighbors' chickens, roosters. I was told that you want to go on thick with your first coat and then kind of pebble it after. I was having issues because this is blue and it was really showing through, and there might be a couple places where it kind of sticks through, but I can't really tell it. But as you can tell, it's kind of wet, and some of them went on kind of flat and droopy. And then over here, I kind of screwed up. I showed my professionalism. I kind of missed a spot there too, by really caking it on here, and it just kind of ran down. So what I did was with a gloved finger, I just kind of dabbed it up so it wouldn't be so runny. It's not focusing. Is it focus? And then after it kind of flashes, which it kind of hardens, then I hit it a little bit further away, which gave that splotchiness. And here, there's a couple areas up in here where kind of you can see the blue coming through. So I have another kit on the way. On the way, I'm gonna do the bed. So I kind of did the rails. I'm gonna do the bed all the way, same color. I'm gonna do the tailgate, and then I'm gonna do the headache rack. So it's just gonna be one giant desert quicksand desert, Toyota Quicksand color. So today it took me about two hours to do all of this. It's my first time ever spraying, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of commentators on how I did it wrong. And you know, I'm not a professional sprayer, nor do I have a booth. I don't know if a booth would have helped. It wasn't really this windy when I was going, but so far I like the texture. A lot thicker than I thought it would go on. Took 16 bottles. So 16 bottles did this whole outside of the truck. They say each bottle does again 15 square feet. Now what I would recommend if someone was doing this is don't worry about the thick first coat. Put down a good splatter coat, almost like it looks in here. I don't know if you can see that. So it's kind of a splatter coat. A little bit thicker than that. I'd say about that consistency. Maybe even less, so it gets a good splatter. And I would say work quicker. So if you do a quick splatter coat and work quickly, so it's not as I guess runny, goopy, you'll probably have to do multiple passes. Don't think you're gonna get like one pass. I was kind of in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna use one bottle per general 15 square feet. And so in places it kind of ran a little bit, in other places it kind of it left it bare. So I would spray it and go quicker and just make multiple passes around the vehicle, and always shoot for more than what you think you need. I was kind of calculating in my head. That's why I ordered two kits, 2.8, so 16 liters, 16 quarts. And when I called him, I spoke to him. He said, yeah, with the headache rack, with the tailgate and the bed, you're probably going to need another kit. So he sent me another kit, and I'll be putting that together. So another quick view without me talking. And again, sorry, this is really fresh, so it's going to take a while to cure. But it's going to be 100 degrees today, so I think that'll help. Hope you have a wonderful morning, wonderful day. School is out, so go and have a fun summer here in the Phoenix area. It is going to be hot. I mean, like 120 degrees hot. It's taking its time. It's in the 90s to 100 right now, which is beautiful. I will post a separate video on doing the bed, and I'll do actually spraying video of me spraying. So have a wonderful afternoon. Already said that. Awesome day. Adios.